Good afternoon, everybody. I'm here for another live edition of Tip Tuesday, where we talk to industry professionals in the real estate world about what it is they're doing and what it is that they can offer in terms of great advice. So, the thing is, as realtors, what we really are is entrepreneurs. We've got our own business, we've got to create revenue, we incur expenses, there's wins, there's losses. Sometimes it can be a bit of a roller coaster. All my realtor friends there who are tuned in, you know what I'm talking about. And so I was chatting with one of our top agents here in the Vancouver team, Hugh. And we just kind of got off on this tangent about mindset and thinking about, maintaining it, because whether you're a realtor or whether you're an entrepreneur, if your head's not in the game, it's really tough to play the game. So we're gonna have a nice chat with Hugh today about maintaining that mindset to put yourself in the right environment, in the right headspace, and the right setup for success. Hugh, how's it going?
Good, James. Thanks for the introduction, and I'm really excited to be on the show.
Awesome, man. Well, you know what? Let's dive right into it, because you had a lot of insightful things to say about mindset. I mean, one of the first things that you had actually said, and you know what? I found it to be a very wise insight for such a young man as yourself, is that, part of mindset is actually a product of environment. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Product of your environment is probably the biggest key factor to what your mindset's going to turn into. So, the friends you hang out with, the people around you, the energy levels around you really dictate how you think, and that is going to result in either a positive or a negative mindset. So, having those proper tools and environments around you is really can change things in a big way. So,
It's totally true. But you know what? Let's talk about it from a tip perspective, because here's the thing. People who are trying to level up, like maybe you've got those friends from high school, maybe you've got those people from university, maybe it's even close family members who, well, you've got a lot of love for them. They don't foster that day-to-day thought process mindset of environment for success. So like what are some tips for consistently choosing to align yourself with people that push you to where you want to be?
yeah, good question. I would say discovering what your end goal is and having the people around you that have like-minded goals, achievements that they want to do in their life, and being around people that have wanting the mindset of wanting to level up, right? So that's
Hmm.
something that I need to keep around me. And so the people that aren't doing that are the people I need to, keep myself distanced from.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So it's just actively choosing to hang with the right crowd, and sometimes those can be tough decisions, but those tough decisions are what push you to be at the level that you want to be at.
Definitely.
Now, one of the things that inevitably happens, as a realtor or a salesperson or entrepreneur, is we take those losses. We get smacked on the old chin. We put in a ton of effort, we give it our all, and then, whether it's through our own actions or through forces that are external, I mean, it's like a deal will fall apart, a client will say no, a business opportunity will, a door will close. So, Hugh, what are some of the things that you do to keep that mindset in the right space when you're working through the natural cycle of wins and losses?
Yeah, I would say for myself personally, everyone's going to have their own sort of way to deal with things. For me, it's fitness, going to the gym, clearing my head, and just getting some exercise, fresh air. I love to wash my car, so like just getting out and getting active and just finding a way to get some clear headspace is something that I
Hmm.
personally do.
That's awesome. So, some of your personal activities that you do to just keep that head in the right space is your fitness, your in your car wash, and taking care of your sick whip, making sure your steed is ready to gallop. That's good stuff, man.
Yeah,
Now let's get like real with it though, because sometimes you don't just take a loss. Sometimes you have a losing streak, and that happens to everybody. I mean, the LA Lakers just went on a big losing streak. The best team in basketball. Yeah, I said it. It's contentious. Whatever. Everybody takes. Sometimes you take multiple losses in a row, and like that's when it starts to compound. You're like, maybe you feel like you're in a rut. maybe you feel like things just aren't working out, you start to have that self-doubt that creeps, you start to have those weird questions. Like, what are some of your champion secrets to getting yourself out of a losing streak?
Yeah, I would definitely say the team, like having support. I know that when things are repetitively going in the wrong direction, I want to kind of keep to myself, kind of isolate myself, I guess you could say. And so having the team, having friends, having family to support you and kind of get you out of your own, mindset of negativity is the biggest thing for me. And, making sure that I'm, keeping myself where I want to go and bringing myself back to my end goals of why I'm trying to be, becoming successful in what I want to do. So bringing myself to, having the team around, bringing me out of my house, wanting to
Yeah.
not work from home, come into the office.
Wow. And that really ties back into your last comment about environment. I mean, if you've actively selected the right environment, then when you're going through some challenges, I mean, it's nice to have the right people around you to help uplift you, to help remind you that you're still an ace, and to keep you going. So, build that team around you. Like, if you're in a corporate environment where you have a team, that's awesome. But also make sure you've chosen the right team, because not all teams are created equal. There's plenty of business units out there that don't have that culture. So it's good to be a part of the right team and to have the right support around you. I totally agree with that. Now let's ask this question from the other angle, because, and this is a dilemma that I've gotten into as a realtor myself. So I'm curious to hear your take on it. And it's what happens when you're on a winning streak. Because one thing I notice is that sometimes when you're on a winning streak, you let go of those fundamentals. You feel like you feel like you're on top of the world. Maybe you stop working out, or you stop doing your self-care, or you just coast on those wins, as opposed to maintaining the things that are going to keep your head in the right space. So what are some of the things that you try to do when things are going well, to just maintain that momentum of positivity?
Yeah, very good point. Definitely, when you have wins, you kind of let the gas off a little bit. I know exactly what you're talking about, and so I've been in that example for getting business moving and starting to have things progress forward, and coming back to the little details you need to do every day that bring you those transactions and bring you those big deals and those big wins is just staying consistent with the little things, and whether that's going to the gym, keeping your head straight, and so not over celebrating. Of course, making sure that you celebrate the
Yeah.
wins, but if you over celebrate, then when things kind of slow down a bit, you kind of get back on the rail and keep things rolling. So
Yeah, that's a great tip. Is when you're winning, don't forget to keep doing the things that got you winning in the first place. And I think that again, that belies an overall knowledge and wisdom at your young age that not a lot of young entrepreneurs have, you. So that's why I wanted to have you on Tip Tuesday, to just share some practical tips for keeping that mindset sharp, because it's so important. And for the realtors tuning in, you know what I'm talking about. But like, you're a mortgage broker, you own a small business, you're in some other sales role. It's all about mindset. Everybody knows that to be successful in sales, you need to meet people, you need to reach out to them, communicate with them, talk to them about your product or service, and then build the relationship to the point where the business happens. You get the close. I just described every business transaction out there in one sentence. So that's not the tricky part about being successful. The tricky part is, how do you take care of your mindset? Hugh, you know what? I'll give you the last word. What are any parting thoughts you have about keeping that mindset sharp?
yeah, I would say just your environment and a positive attitude, right? So when things go bad, just try and reframe to why you're doing the business that you're in or the goals that you have, and just trying to reflect on where your end goal is and just kind of keeping yourself on track.
Yeah, that's awesome. I find once you're aligned with your end goal, you don't have to think about taking the next step forward. You pointed yourself in the right direction, and you just take a deep breath and keep on moving. That's huge. Really, really good parting tip is, like, if you want the journey to happen in the right way and to have the energy to do the journey, you need the end in mind. So that's a great tip. Hugh, thanks for popping on to Tip Tuesday here, and giving us some really great practical advice on creating, fostering, maintaining that right mindset, and how to just crush it as an entrepreneur, as a salesperson. So have a wicked rest of the day. Thanks for popping on to Tip Tuesday.
You
And
too.
everybody watching, you know what? Hey, if you like this video, give us some of your mindset tips, your life hacks in the comments section. Have a good one, everybody.